Hi, loves. I'm Jemana Sophia, the founder of Her Mystery School, and I would love to introduce you to Jasmine Patton. Jasmine is a dear friend, and she's also one of the mentors for Her Mystery School. She offers the mentorships of devotional self care and spirited business. So, for women who decide to journey the 9 months of the school, if you want to have additional support, one on one support throughout the 9 months that's focused on a specific aspect of life, the mentorships were created for you. And Jasmine works specifically with self care and business. So I would love for you to tell them a little bit about your mentorships.
Be happy to. Okay. Devotional self-care. So the reason I chose the word devotional is that a lot of times around the conversation of self-care, there's this sense of I need to do it. There's this discipline I need to have in order to take care of myself. And self-care looks like XYZ. And it's another thing that I have to put on my list that I may or may not get to. When I use the word devotion, I feel like that's really like a sense of love and a sense of commitment to oneself that comes from a place of compassion, a place of deep listening. And my perspective on self-care is really about what actually works for you and what do you actually need in order to care for yourself. And it may be a bubble bath, it may be a moment of quiet, and it's really personal to you. So that's what we're doing in the mentorship, is really getting real with what you need, really asking the question, what do I need? I find a lot of women that I work with have never actually asked that question, and it's incredibly powerful to simply ask ourselves, what do I need? And then getting really honest with that, because it could look like anything. Self-care can look like so many different things, and it's not a prescription at all, but it's really a deep self-inquiry.
Yeah.
So that's devotional self-care, is really getting real and honest with yourself and being able to devote yourself to that deep listening and then act on that in a way that really nourishes and supports and sustains you.
I love that. I kept thinking as you were talking about the word nourishment and how when self-care is devotional, it becomes a nourishing act, not a burden.
Yeah.
And just how amazing it is. I mean, you've helped me a lot with this, actually, to actually even acknowledge that I have needs and to make space for them, and then to continue to validate that it matters, that it's important. It feels like, I don't know what you're experiencing, but I feel like often the way that the world works, the way that the world is moving, the pace of things, it is not on the table how we take care of ourselves. And unless we actually step in and claim it and devote ourselves to it, it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with that, I think self-care often looks more like, what can I not do?
Yeah.
What are the things
Totally.
I can take off my plate?
Yeah.
That either I've told myself I need to do, or society or my family or anything outside of me has told. And really simplifying and really getting into that less is more energy, so that you can actually have time to listen, have time to nourish.
Yeah. I love that the mentorship is 9 months, because it feels like it takes about that long to have somebody hold your hand and say, have you taken care of yourself? Are you listening? Okay, I hear your needs. And to have that reflection back of this is important, and the accountability.
Yeah.
Too. Yeah.
And for most of us who struggle with self-care, it's taken a lifetime to get to a place where we're not listening to our needs and where we don't even know what they are. So it definitely takes time to repattern and recreate what is actually nourishing.
Yeah, like the foundation of how we do life.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. And Spirited Business is the other mentorship that I offer. I've been an entrepreneur now for 20 years, which feels so amazing to say. And I've had now 4 businesses during that time. And I've learned that nourishment is a really important piece of being a woman in the world of work. I work with women who are entrepreneurs, but also women who just want to bring more of their feminine essence and more of themselves into the workplace.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever that looks like for you, we've been taught how to do business from a masculine place, and that's great because we need focus and we need structure. A lot of us don't have the feminine ways of interacting with business and work. So what we work with in Spirit of Business is getting into the deeper levels of what is it that you really want to do, like really, really.
Mm-hmm.
How does your soul want to express in this world?
Mm-hmm.
And then how do you do that in a way that's nourishing and not depleting?
Yeah.
And then how do you partner with the inner realms, really,
Mm-hmm.
and guidance outside of yourself,
Mm-hmm.
so that you can actually be more, quote, efficient
Yeah.
because you're listening more deeply. So we really step into a space of how do you accomplish more and be more aligned with what you're really here to do while efforting less.
Mm-hmm.
And still getting a lot of things done,
Mm-hmm.
but without draining and burning the candles at both ends and that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So Jasmine is obviously then the mentor for her mystery school and how we have chosen to move, how we choose to move as a business or ministry, but how we choose to move in the world and in our work. And, I think that it's this, I hear two things as you're speaking. It's that discovery of what moves us, what do we want to move out into the world, and then how do we do that in a sustainable way without losing ourselves. There's a walk that we do here at her mystery school, which is to constantly bring ourselves back again and again to the teachings, the practices, and a deeper feminine way in all that we do. And it's amazing the shifts that it's made. In terms of how we make our choices and how we actually feel nourished by our work, as it should be. It's like I think part of the old paradigm is that work is something you do, and then your life and your soul or whatever is somewhere else, and that can happen even when you think you're doing your soul's work. If you're not doing it with nourishment in mind, it can definitely deplete. So that's Spirited Business. It's mentorship. What would you say in general, in your experience of women that you've worked with, or how you hold the mentorships, who do you feel like is most drawn and most served by either one of those mentorships?
Yeah, well, the devotional self-care, I find that I've worked with a lot of women who are amazing women, have accomplished a lot in the world, families, businesses, very full, amazing lives, and they've been givers, and their giving has been beautiful and bountiful, and they come to this place where they just actually want to give some of that back to themselves, and want to even discover who they are, separate from that giving, and find ways to fill up and nourish and feel like they have energy, and just like get a deeper reacquaintance with themselves.
In my own journey with overgiving, there is what I experience, and what I think a lot of women experience, is like we come to a place where we don't even know what we need anymore.
Yeah.
I came to a place where I didn't even know what I liked. I didn't know anymore what fed me, what nourished me. I've given away to that point. It feels like, to me, the mentorship is part of supporting that return. Back to like an actual, like, okay, I'm no longer lost to myself. I've found myself again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we get really elemental and really simple. How is your sleep? How is your food? How is your movement? And how much those pieces really affect the whole quality of your life. Yeah. And with the Spirited Business, who I work with are both entrepreneurs and women who are just in the workplace having jobs, who, like I said, really want to bring more of who they are into the whole experience of work. And I've worked with women on a spectrum of, I don't know what my business is going to be, to I know what my business is, yet I feel like there's something more. I feel like I'm working too hard. I feel like I'm missing a piece that I really want to connect more deeply with. And in this mentorship, it's definitely meant for someone who has a curiosity and a certain amount of courage to step into this place, because it's mysterious. It's mysterious to work in the world of business and work from feminine principles, because there is no roadmap other than that of your soul and your spirit and how it speaks. So what we're doing in this mentorship is really acquainting you and aligning you with these deeper voices so that you can feel comfortable without a map and feel confident in your own self so that you can step forward and create amazing things.
I love how you're describing it as there's no map, because that's true. I think actually with self-care and with business from a deep feminine place, it's all frontiers work in a way. And the way that it parallels so well with the school, I think, is that during the 9 months of the school, it's like we're deepening and deepening into inner presence, who we were created to be, what's our true nature, and then to be having the mentorship move along with that, either as self-care, okay, and how do you care for that which you are in all of these new ways, or as you're moving out into the world and as you're working and as you're offering, can you stay true to what you know is right for you, what you know, how you know you really want to move.
And then bring that out as an expression of being of service to the world.
Yeah. What I love about both of them, and especially about Spirited Business, is moving from deep feminine principles as a woman is so much more effective.
Yeah.
There's this counterintuitive, there's a way of leaping off and saying, okay, I'll do it this way. I'll do it this different way than I've been taught, or than what's happening all around me. And then to find that actually it's not only more sustainable and nourishing, it's actually more, it thrives.
Yeah.
This is how the world responds. And I know I felt it in myself, and I felt it with the school. And it feels like a huge gift to women to be able to come back and say, I'm all one. I'm one. Yeah. I'm a woman, and I also have this work, but I'm never not a woman. I'm never not with myself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that really heals something in us around work. Yeah. Especially that it doesn't have to be separate, that it all gets to be like this beautiful expression of who we are, and that in caring for ourselves, that is actually a service to those around us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Jasmine offers the Devotional Self-Care Mentorship and Spirited Business Mentorship. And you can find her and us at hermysteryschool.com. There are 20-minute free discovery sessions with all of the mentors. So if you go to the website or just reach out to support@hermysteryschool.com, you can schedule a 20-minute session with Jasmine, just to see if it feels like a fit for you, if this is calling to you, if you know that there are thresholds in front of you, that having some accountability and some support would really actually transform for you, then we are here, and the mentorship is here. Is there any last thing that you would like to share with the ladies, like something from your work or your heart?
Yeah. A woman thrives when her cup is full, and a woman's world thrives when her cup is full.
It's so simple.
It's so simple.
It's so simple and nourishing, and yet I recognize it as a practice, a devotional practice for sure, to just keep coming back and asking, where am I? Is my cup full? Is it empty? Where am I moving from?
Yeah.
So both really wonderful mentorships that support the foundations of how you're doing life and how to do that, how to bring your life forward from inside of you and actually enjoy it while it's happening.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you for taking the time with us. Blessed be.
Blessed be.